Hi everyone and welcome to episode 9 of Relegation Rescue at Eibar with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, we've actually stalled a little bit. 3 losses in a row have put us down to 15th position. Our charge up the table has come to a little bit of a grinding halt. Today, it's not going to get any easier either. We play Valencia in La Liga. So indeed, after a very, very good start to our time at Eibar, having found them bottom of the table, we've progressed them up. We've got away from the relegation zone pretty much. I don't think we'll get dragged back in, but our run of good form has come to a grinding halt. 3 losses in a row. Real Madrid, Sevilla, some San Sebastian, all very narrow by 1 goal in each of them, but those are narrow enough margins for us not to pick up the points and therefore just take away a little bit of what we've achieved so far. So, ultimately, we've got 5 games left, a few more opportunities to pick up some very valuable points, but some of the games are still going to be particularly tricky. And the most tricky of those, I guess, is probably coming up next. An ever-improving Valencia. Halfway through the season, they were sitting mid-table. They've now moved up a little bit, and today we take them on. Can we end this run of form? Let's find out. So, a couple of injury issues. We've got Rodriguez, our left fullback, still out, has been out for the last couple of games, and now Enrique has gone out as well. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks, unfortunately, with pulled ankle ligaments. So that's a real blow because he and Kike in the striking positions were playing particularly well, really. I mean, his average rating of 7.13, Enrique, is far and away above everybody else's. So this is going to be a real blow for the next couple of weeks. That might well see most of the season gone for him now in the terms of the last 5 games. But what we have got is a settled system, a settled style of play that's been working pretty well for us up until these last couple of games. Can it work again for us today? We'll have to wait and see. So we had to make a couple of changes here and there, but mostly it's the first 11 that I wanted to play. So for today's game against Valencia, we go with Dimitrovic in goal, Correa at right back, Suarez at left back, Oliveira and Bigas in central defence, Alvarez and Exposito in central midfield, Kike on the right, Inui on the left, Rukovicia, I'm getting the hang of that one a little bit, is up top with Kike, and pretty much everybody else is on the bench. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So it's all about ending that really bad run of form, those 3 matches in a row where we've lost. So we've pumped the fist and I've said I fully expect you to end our poor run of form and try and win this match. Whether that happens or not against a very tricky Valencia side is kind of a moot point, really. It's just about me attempting to try and put some confidence back into the side. So Valencia will come in with a 4-2-3-1. They've got some very good players. I'm not quite sure what went wrong for them in the first half of the season to lead them to be mid-table for most of it. But you can see they've picked up, they're sitting in about 8th position now. So they are moving forward in the right direction, as we have been since we took over, but not recently. So it is time to try and put those to bed. If we could get away with not losing today, I'll be happy with that. 4 losses in a row would be a real dent into what we've achieved so far. And it all stemmed from losing that Real Madrid game, which we would expect to lose, but it just took away the confidence and the shine of what we did previous to that, excuse me. And so ultimately, it's now about trying to find a way to turn that run of form round. And it's an early opportunity. Well, I say early, 17 minutes in, we had a good chance to clear the ball up the pitch and try and win a header on and try and put some pressure on Valencia. Didn't really manage it, but they've done similar and given it straight back to our defensive unit. Can we keep control of the ball now? Suarez through to Kike at the very top of the penalty box, and he's put it back to Exposito. We're working the ball nicely across the box. We're going to have to go backwards to go forwards, and then going forwards, we almost lost it, but we won it back straight away. And then we did lose it. And this has been the case all the way through our time here, is that we do give the ball away an awful lot and we do get punished for it. That's the most frustrating thing about playing a managerial game is when your players forget how to pass from A to B in a way that you know that they can. They can pass the ball very nicely. Occasionally, we look like Brazil from the 70s in the way that we play, which is incredible movement of the ball and movement of the personnel. And then all of a sudden, it comes to a complete grinding halt and they can't even find a simple pass. And we are getting dominated in terms of chances created by Valencia, who are, of course, are playing away from home, and it doesn't seem to be impacting them at all. We are struggling a little bit to cope with them, and I kind of thought that that might happen today. And it is going to happen today, isn't it? You can already feel that. Whatever it is we do today, I think Valencia are on a bit of a tear at the moment, having had a really poor first half of the season. They are on their way back. And I don't think we've quite got the quality in our midst to deal with them as players today, to be honest. But we'll give it a good go. Easy for me to say, not. We're going to pause the game in a second here. We'll just watch this one. Why are they even checking that? Why would they even bother checking that? It was so far onside, it's ridiculous. 26 minutes in. We can't allow them to get any further ahead of us. So we're going to change it up a little bit. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to stay in the shape, but we're going to come out of the wing play and we're going to go route one instead. We're going to put it onto balanced and we're going to try and work off these two front men and see if we can get a couple of knockdowns and potentially get a couple of chances from that. There's no point in me taking the players off at this point. We're only 26 minutes in. That will leave us short for the back end of the match when potentially we'll need it. So it's all about the change of the way that we play, and also we're going to fire them up. See if we can get anything out of them at all. And I'm not quite sure. It feels like it's going to be one of those days where nothing quite works out. You just get a feeling sometimes that somehow the flow of your play is not quite what it should be. And at the moment, I'm getting that feeling. But Exposito could change that. Kike on the right-hand side. Eventually, we're getting towards their penalty box. Maybe there's a chance coming, and there isn't. They get it cleared, but we do pick it up in midfield. And Suarez, the left fullback, has a bit of a wild shot at goal, unfortunately, on that far side, and he puts it over the crossbar. At least we kind of got through at goal. But you can see so far, they've had many, many more chances than we've had, dominated the game from start to finish so far in these 35 minutes. And is that a hat-trick from Gomez? I think it probably is already. And it is. After 35 minutes, Maxi Gomez has completely and utterly put us to the sword in everything that he's done so far. 3 attempts that we've seen, really, from him. 3 shots at goal, 3 on target, 3 goals. 10 shots at goal, 8 on target now from 12. They're completely dominating this first half. They've had a little bit more possession. Their XG rating is sky high compared to what ours is. But that's not even as good as what their goal-scoring exploits are. So you can see that he's made the most of the chances he's been presented with. And we've had absolutely no answer for it whatsoever. So we're going to have to change up again. And this time, I think we're going to have to change up the formation and try and see if we can stall the game a little bit in this second half. Rukavica, not really done it, has he, since he came into the starting lineup. Exposito, Kike, both on 6.3s as well. There's a lot of very, very poor performances. Not happy about that. I'm not surprised, though, necessarily. Anyway, we're going to take Rukavica out, and we're going to put Garcia in, and we're going to play him in a holding midfield role, and we're going to play 4-3-3. And so, therefore, we're not going to go route one anymore. What we're going to try and do, as much as we can, is play a controlled possession type of football. We're going to take the balanced into cautious as well. And the only intention from this for the rest of this game, really, is to try and keep the ball. If we can up our possession rating in this second half and stop them from coming at us full bore, then I think we'll have done a reasonable job in this second half. So we're going to thrash the arms. I'm not happy with the performance. Get back out there, do something about that. We're going to go into the shouts. We're going to demand more from them. We made that tactical change. We made that personnel change. And now it's just about can we halt the game? Can we stifle it and cause enough problems to potentially just come out of this second half with a little bit of something positive to hold on to? 55% possession is roughly what they had in the first half, so that's not coming down hugely quickly in this second half, but at 65 minutes it has been quieter in a lot of ways, so I'll take that as a positive. 70 minutes in, we're going to make a couple more changes just to get some fresh legs on, but we'll go through this highlight first. Unfortunately, it's a Valencia highlight, and what happened there? Blows his whistle. Oh, what has he given here? He's checking for a penalty. What on earth happened there? Oh, for goodness sake. Again, we've kind of destroyed ourselves. There was obviously a shove or something in the box as the ball came in. And Gamero, I'm not sure why they didn't give it to Maxi Gomez. Is he still on the pitch? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, not sure. But 4-0 down, and all the way through this this second half of the season that we've taken control of Eibar, with very, very few occasions have we absolutely been done over by a side. It's usually been by one goal, or we've been usually quite unlucky. Even against Real Madrid, we scored a goal and it was 2-1. I almost forgot to make my substitutions then. I was so frustrated by all of that. Kike is injured, so we're going to have to take him out. So Leon comes in on his spot, and Suarez down that left-hand side. We don't really have a natural replacement. We'll bring Arbila on, who's more of a right side. We'll play him on the left anyway, just because he was on his last legs as well. And those are the only changes we can now make, because we already made one earlier in the match, of course. So, yeah, just one of those days today where nothing quite works out. But as I was saying, we haven't really been turned over too many times in this second half of this season since we took control. It's a little bit disappointing that it's come today, but it's, I guess, a less of a surprise because of that run of form. It feels like the confidence has been completely sucked out of the club over these last now 4 losses in a row. And we could potentially, it is still a potential that we could get dragged back into this relegation fight. Something that I really don't want to happen. Now, I do think that the remaining games are slightly easier than the last couple that we've had. We're going to thrash the arms rather than throw the water bottle. It was against Valencia. They're a decent side, but we're going to bring them in for training just to show that we're not happy with the performance and things have to change. We're going to show the table. It still leaves us in 15th position. We are still only 3 points away from 12th, so a couple of wins in these last few matches could bump us up again quite easily. But you can see that we're now only 6 points clear of Huesca, and they've got a game in hand. So it could potentially shrink this group of teams back up again. And that final position, because I think Elche and Cadiz are probably already now down, that final relegation position is kind of, there's a few teams in it, and we may well be one of them. Not quite the end of the season I was hoping for, as we got off to such a good start, but there's not much I can do about that now. We just have to go with what we've got. Kike is injured, out for a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. He's likely to miss 2 to 5 weeks, it says at the top here. Injections would mean all sorts of things. 2 to 3 weeks to physio. So we're going to give him to the physio. He's probably out for most of the season, as is Enrich now probably as well by the time he gets back to full fitness. It is a bit of an issue. Some of the players that we brought in, Rukovicia, one of them, really not helping us in the end in terms of as much as I hoped that they would, bringing in a little bit of quality in the upfront positions. But there we go. It's just one of those days, really. Eibar, we did fantastically well in this run of form through March and early April to draw us away from the relegation stuff. We've been drawn back into it. Bilbao, Elche, Alaves, and Valladolid. And of course, Valladolid were the first team that we played in the cup and they knocked us out. So I'm still looking for some revenge on that one. But we have to turn this form around. We've got a few matches to do it. So every other game we play on the episode. So I'll go away and play Athletic Bilbao. We'll come back for the next game against Elche. And we'll see how we're doing then. Hopefully we picked up some points against Bilbao. It's going to be tricky from now on, though, isn't it? It really, really does feel to me. There's just something about it that feels that all of the motivation and morale and momentum, all the M's, have been completely sucked out of this team all of a sudden. So there you go. That's just going to be the way it is for the rest of the season. Enrique is going to be a huge miss with his 11 goals so far, but we'll have to carry on regardless. So join me next episode and see how we've got on in the meantime. But until then, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Not quite the end I was hoping for with this series, but we'll keep on going. We'll see how high up we can finish, and hopefully we don't get dragged totally back to that relegation battle. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. That'll help me get seen by more people. And until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.